Hello everyone, myself Dr. Vipul M. Patel from Dr. Subhash Technical Campus. So in today's lecture, we will discuss about the chapter number 1 of production technology, that is theory of metal cutting. So in this lecture, different topics that we will discuss in this lecture, that is principle of metal cutting, classification of metal cutting processes, and cutting tools and its types. First of all, you can see that principle of metal cutting, the workpiece and the tool are securely held in the machine tool and its accessories, while power is supplied to the provide relative motion between the tool and the workpiece. See, what is the actual meaning of the principle of cutting? In this process, the wedge shape cutting tool moves relative to the workpiece at some angle. So due to the pressure exerted by the tool chip, so metal will shear in the form of chips on the shear plane, and chip is produced ahead of the cutting tool by deforming the shearing the material continuously, we can say. So along the shear plane, right? So in this process, the results is in removal of any excess material interfering with the relative motion in the form of chips. You can say that. Metals are also cut primarily to produce the different types of surface, whatever required, desired shape and shape you want to give to some workpiece. Accuracy of the surface finishing, that is also depending upon their use. So which type of use we want. Right, so this is the principle of metal cutting. Now, classification of metal cutting processes: conventional processes, surface finishing processes, non-conventional processes. These are the mainly we can classify the different cutting processes of the metal. So conventional, that is we have already discussed in the manufacturing process, right? And different operations also we have performed. Like turning, drilling, boring, shaping, slotting, milling, etc. In surface finishing operation, we already discussed lapping, polishing, super finishing, honing, etc. Now in this subject, we will discuss about the different non-conventional processes. Different non-conventional processes also we can further classify into the 4 different categories, that is mechanical processes, chemical processes, electrochemical processes, thermoelectric processes, etc. So you can see these are the examples of the non-conventional machining processes. So how many types of different non-conventional processes that we can include in the mechanical processes? That is ultrasonic machining, abrasive jet machining, water jet machining, abrasive flow machining, abrasive water jet machining, etc. These are the mechanical processes. Why? Because it will touch the material, those who want to cut directly or indirectly. That's why we can include it in the mechanical processes. In the chemical processes also we can include the chemical machining processes. So in that we are using different types of chemicals to remove some metal or material from the workpiece. That is also we can include in the non-conventional processes, right? Third one, that is electrochemical processes. So those material we are cutting with the use of the different electrochemical processes. That is we can include it in those non-conventional processes like electrochemical processes. Electrochemical machining, ECM, it is well-known process. Electrochemical grinding, electrochemical honing. So this type of all processes we can include in the electrochemical processes, right? Thermoelectric processes, ion beam machining, plasma arc machining, electro discharge machining, that is also well-known processes. EDM, it is known as EDM, laser beam machining, electro beam machining. So in these processes we are using some thermoelectric energy to cut the metal or material, or to remove some metal or material, right? That's why it is known as thermoelectric processes. So all these different types of non-conventional processes that we will discuss in the chapter number 6, that is non-conventional machining processes. Now we will on the machine tool. What is machine tool? Basically that is we have already discussed in the manufacturing process. So again on that we can say that it is one type of tool. So with the use of that we can remove some metal or material in the form of chips or powder or etc. So in specially we can say that machining is done with the help of the power driven non-portable machines, that is also known as a machine tool. Machine tool is expected to satisfy the following requirements. So which are the main requirements of the machine tool, and with the use of that also we can remove some metal or material from the workpiece, and what is the requirement that can satisfied with the use of this machine tool? First of all, efficiency, then surface finishing and production rate. These are the requirement that we have to satisfy with the use of that machine tool. These are the different types of machine tools. Classification based on design features of the machine tools. So how can we classify it? There are many ways to classify the machine tool. So first of all, we are classifying it on the basis of the design features of the machine tool. First of all, general purpose machine tool, those we are using for the general purpose. Second thing is a production machine tool. With the use of that machine tool, particularly if we are producing some items, some components, some jobs. Special purpose machine tool, those machine tool we are using for the special purpose. How can we give the example? If we are producing the rotors, especially some important components of the automobile industries, then we can say it is special purpose. That is, we are using it for the special purpose. Only some component we can produce with the use of or with the help of this particular machine tool, right? Classification based on the type of surface produced. Machine tool producing mainly plane surfaces. So which type of surface we are producing with the use of that particular machine tool? On the basis of that also we are classifying that. Second thing is a machine tool producing surface of revolutions. Machine tool reproducing a given shape, or we can say copy, paste. Then miscellaneous machine tool. These are already we have discussed in the manufacturing process also, right? Now classification based on the size of the chips produced. So we have already discussed about the different types of chips: continuous, discontinuous, continuous with built-up edge, etc. So which type of chips produced by that particular machine tool? On the basis of that also we can classify it. Machine tool reproducing large type of the chip, machine tool producing chips of a very small size. Then classification based on the type of the job or workpiece done. So which type of workpiece, which type of job we are producing on the basis of shape and size with the use of that particular machine tool. So classified according to the main type of the operation done on the machine. See, in the manufacturing process, in conventional machining process, we have already discussed about the drilling machine, right? So also some other operations also we can perform on the drilling machine, but like boring, honing, etc. But special it is designed for the drilling operation. Understand? Second thing is the common example are lathe, drilling, boring machine, shaper, planer, slaughter, milling, grinding machine, etc. So this is which type of workpiece we are producing on the on that particular machine tool, on the basis of that. Now after completion of the machine tool, cutting tool. Type of cutting tool we already discussed. Mainly we can classify it into the two categories, that is single point cutting tool and multi-point cutting tool. Which one is single point? If there is one cutting edge, turning uses a single point only. Point is usually round to form a nose radius, so that is single point cutting tool. That is also we are using in the lathe example. Multi-point cutting tool, more than one cutting edge, motion relative to the work usually achieved by the rotating because more than one cutting edge we have to use to cut the metal or material, or to remove some metal or material from the workpiece. More than one cutting edge we have to use. It is called multi-point cutting tool. Example we can give: drilling, drill bit, milling cutter. These are all type of rotating multi-point cutting edge. We have to rotate it because we have to use more than one cutting edge to cut the metal or material from the workpiece. That's why you can see the figure of single point and multi-point cutting tool. Different types of cutting tool: single point and multi-point cutting. These are the different materials of the tool or cutting tool, we can say. Carbon tool steel, HSS, that is also called as a high speed steel, cast non-ferrous alloys, carbides, ceramics, diamonds, coated carbides, etc. So these are the different types of tool materials, and we are using this cutting tool for performing some different operations on the conventional machining processes. So this is the cutting tools, right? In the next lecture we will discuss about the tool geometry, single point cutting tool geometries. Thank you everyone.